got to go get that story.
All right, there we go. Good evening, everybody. It is Monday night here at the BTA network, and since it's Monday, that means it's time for Monday Mayhem. We've got stories that didn't quite make it on the mainstream, but in a way, some of it's good, some of it's gonna make you mad, and some of it's gonna be like, what the hell? So,
and there's a very good chance tonight that we may have a holdover from our old show we were part of appearing tonight.
mm-hmm.
Oh, is it who I think it is?
No. It's something.
Oh, okay. All right.
You know what I'm talking about.
All right. So anyway, I'm your host for tonight. I am Oddball Extreme. I'm currently joined on the line by three of my crazy cohorts. First, to my left, we have our master and creator, Frodo. Hello, Frodo.
How are you guys doing today?
Good. Below left, we
By
have
the way, Mike, there's your favorite game in the world.
Oh, I need to get the PS5 copy.
Yep. Anyway.
PS4 copy works just the same.
Yeah, anyway,
No.
below left, we have our resident drinker, Mike. Hello, Mike.
Hello, how's it going? Happy Monday.
Below me is our resident tiny Oreo, Janet. Hello, Janet.
Hello. How's it going?
Chat, good. And in the chat, we have our man from the Bronx, Sajo. And
Yep.
of course, it's
Yeah, it's
wrestling
Monday,
night,
so it's wrestling.
It's
Hey,
wrestling night.
Hey, Frodo, did you hear about that plane from Vienna who flew into a thunderstorm that for some reason the pilot's weather radar didn't pick up?
Oh, geez.
And the hailstones that hit the nose of the plane. Well, I'm going to be reading an article that has a picture with it.
So
if Shirley doesn't mind.
No.
We'll discuss it a little bit later, but first, let's start off with something that I don't know. I think it's kind of enraging myself, but at the same standpoint, it could be nothing. And I know that there's been an update to this, but I'm still going to say something.
Okay.
So, recently, Adobe, the company that makes such products as After Effects, Illustrator,
Acrobat,
Photoshop, any of those Adobe Suite creative programs, made a new change to their terms of service. I'm going to read this directly from the terms of service.
Okay.
Section 4.2, licenses to your content. Solely for the purposes of operating or improving the services and software, you grant us a non-exclusive, worldwide, royalty-free, sub-licensable license to use, reproduce, publicly display, distribute, modify, create derivative works based on, publicly perform, and translate the content. For example, we may sublicense our right to the content to our service providers or to other users to allow services and software to operate as intended, such as enabling you to share photos with others. Separately, for Section 4.6 below covers any feedback that you provide to us. Next, updated terms of service says, clarified that we may... Okay, I'm going to read this directly, and then I'm going to say something. Clarified that we may access your content through both automated and manual methods, such as for content review. Okay.
That
Shirley,
sounds like Big Brother's trying to watch us.
Shirley?
Yes.
You said there was some kind of update, right?
Yes. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start... I found an article from PC Mag, which that's definitely trustworthy, and this is like the original situation. So I mean, how it's affecting people. So this is, let's see, let me do this real quick. Let me hop over here to articles. There we go. Okay. Let's see. This is from 4 days ago. Adobe Sparks backlash over AI terms that let it access future content. Filmmakers condemn Adobe's latest terms of use update, which may analyze your content to improve our services and software. Those who don't accept may be locked out of their accounts. Ooh.
So,
Now that was just a sentence. I haven't gotten to the article yet. All right, so
yeah, but
Okay.
that alone was enough to get the point what I'm going to try and say here.
Yeah. All right, so anyway, this is the original story because there was an update the next day after this. So here's what happened. Adobe's updated terms of use allows its machine learning tools to view and use customers' content to develop future Adobe products, but it's unclear exactly what that entails. We may access, view, or listen to your content, the legal agreement reads, but only in limited ways and only as permitted by law. Adobe's content section continues. Our automated systems may analyze your content using techniques such as machine learning in order to improve our services and software and the user experience. Machine learning is a subset of AI. Some Adobe software users, like Hollywood filmmaker Duncan Jones, express frustration at the terms that let the tech firm use customer work for its own interest without the ability to opt out. What the hell was that new agreement you forced us to sign this morning that locked our app until we agreed to it? Jones said in a now deleted tweet directed at the official Photoshop X account. We are working on a bloody movie here, and no, you don't suddenly have the right to any of the work we are doing on it because we pay you to use Photoshop. What the fuck? That's what he said.
All right. So, anyone who's followed the show for a long enough time knows that I am a huge and active proponent of open source software. What that is software that you can go into, get the source code for the program yourself, read how the program was constructed line by line of the code, be able to modify it however you see fit, and create an alternative version of that software based on that open source code, and know exactly what the software is doing. Microsoft was about to do this a few weeks ago with their Microsoft, I don't even remember what it was called, but they were talking about every 5 minutes you were using your computer, taking a snapshot of your computer screen and its current configuration, including any devices, software, services, and background tasks you were running at that moment. Okay?
Yeah. Okay. Now there's more to this article. So, Songhorn Studios founder, creative director, and concept artist Sam Santalla posted screenshots of the new terms and tried to uninstall Photoshop, but wasn't able to without agreeing to the new rules. Santalla expressed concern that Adobe might pull from or otherwise use its customers' creative work, even if they are under a strict non-disclosure agreement that bars them from sharing said content with anyone, including companies like Adobe, knowingly or unknowingly.
Now, as I was getting to and alluding to, Adobe does create great software. Don't get me wrong. Photoshop is a great piece of software. Acrobat is a great piece of software. Illustrator, another great piece of software. All of them are great in their own way. And I'm just saying that having this kind of term in your TOS is beyond untrustworthy of your brand. Now, I have, like I mentioned before, I've always been a fan of open source software. The Sony PlayStation software on the PS4, PS3, PS5, all is running on open source based software that has been sub-licensed and made closed source to protect it. That is a legitimate reason to close source something. Is if you want to protect your creation from someone like, I don't know, someone like a George Hotz.
Yeah.
Okay.
Whoever
Now,
he is.
Yeah. Anyway, there's still more to this one. Hilarious that I can't even get a hold of your support chat to question this unless I agree to those terms beforehand, Santella added. Adobe Chief Strategy Officer Scott Belsky responded to the issue, writing, Adobe does not train any Gen AI models on customers' content, and we obviously have tight security around any form of access to customers' content. But claims that Adobe is not feeding user content into its AI models today doesn't inspire much confidence for the future, as the terms could allow Adobe to conduct such behavior. Belsky said Adobe is asking users to agree to such broad terms so that Adobe can help them search through their files stored on Adobe Creative Cloud, which, by the way, I don't. So, as a company that stores cloud documents and assets for customers, there are probably circumstances like indexing to help you search for documents, updating components used from CC libraries across your documents, among others, where the company's terms of service allow for some degree of access. The content terms also state that Adobe could use customer content to help with support requests, resolve technical issues, or detect and prevent fraud. According to a screenshot from background designer Chris, oh god, I hope I can say this guy's name, Sergiotis. I'm so sorry if I've butchered the name, whose LinkedIn page details roles at Sony, Warner Brothers, and Netflix. Adobe can see what Photoshop users have engaged with on the app and is tracking user behavior, sending out surveys after customers click on certain features. This level of user tracking could feel like surveillance or even spyware to some. Adobe Product Director Jeremy Noguer suggested early Thursday that Adobe's legal terms are broad, but the application of the sweeping content permissions would be mostly limited to cases where users would purposely submit work to be published or reviewed. Noguer said that Adobe will not access Substance 3D user content in any way, shape, or form, nor are we planning to or have any means to do so in the first place. My understanding is that the TOS are shared between all Adobe apps and services, Noguer wrote in another response to the backlash. Some terms are only applicable or relevant to very specific products or situations that most users may never encounter. PCMag has reached out to Adobe for content. Now, this is what they added the next day on the 7th. Adobe says the controversy is a misunderstanding about its effort to crack down on child sexual abuse material. In Thursday's statement, it insists it will never assume ownership of a customer's work or train its AI on user data.
Okay. There's quite a few things I have to hit on. Okay. First off, child sexual abuse, I can understand. However, and I'm going to go into a lot of stuff here. So first off, let's take Photoshop as an example. Mm-hmm. Okay, so I upload a picture of my kids, hypothetically, playing in the bathtub. You know, they're both boys. You can't see anything. They're just playing in the bathtub.
Right.
That's not sexual.
No.
First off, yes, it can be seen as inappropriate, but it is not sexual in nature. It is, my kids are having fun in this bathtub. Now, we've had similar issues in the past. I'm going to get into that here in a minute. Any company that's willing to put such broad terms on their own access into my computer, I do not trust it at all, whatsoever, at all, period, never. I don't give a shit what excuses you have. I will not want you to access my data. Because guess what? That's personal stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can only read my C drive /users /my name /photos. Mm-hmm. I don't know. For all I know, you can go into my fucking C drive in the Windows directory and modify my fucking system hive.
Yeah.
You can do anything with that kind of access. Mm-hmm. No.
Why not a system hive?
System hive of the registry.
Oh, the hive.
Mm-hmm.
Who's the queen bee in that hive?
anything and everything that determines your system and its specifications as far as Windows is considered. The problem is, you're giving yourself that kind of permission to my stuff means you have access to every single file, folder, and device on my system and on my network. No. No. Second off, okay, sure, I can understand child sexual protections. However, child sexual protections have been shown to be very, very heavy-handed. I remember a few years ago a story about a dad who took pictures of his own child nude because it had to be for the purposes of this, because he had massive bruises around his genital area. And he uploaded those pictures incidentally because of the fact that it was on his phone to his Google Cloud account. And because Google saw LBP, little boy genitals, they assumed it was sexual in nature automatically and destroyed this guy's Google account that controls not only his phone, but also his businesses, his livelihood, and contains every single fucking tax return for the past God knows how many years. All because they assume that it was sexual in nature. The problem is...
And they did all this before conferring with him. Find out what's going on.
Right.
That's not right.
Right, and the problem comes down to, sure, you don't want child sexual content on your device, okay? It's illegal, first off, and second off, it's just not kosher, okay? Let's just go there. But in the incident of, taking pictures of your child for evidence, or like my example earlier, your kids are playing in the bathtub, okay, that's not sexual in nature. That's not sexual.
That's more like kids being kids in the
Exact-
bathtub.
Exactly. Sorry about Maddie's butt.
Hello, Maddie.
But you get what I'm saying, okay? And
Yes.
and the other aspect is you've also got After Effects, the video creation tool. That means if a YouTube creator uses After Effects to take and upload their video to YouTube, theoretically, based on those terms of service, Adobe can come around and issue copyright strikes to all creators that use After Effects to create their YouTube videos.
Thankfully, I don't. So,
but you get
hopefully Sid Squad won't either.
But you get what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
This doesn't just have small ramification possibilities. This has earth-shattering capabilities from private computers all the way up to and exceeding governmental access.
Yeah.
We're going to wind up like George Orwell's 1984, where Big Brother is watching you all the time.
Yep.
Now, in response to this, I'm going to give you a couple of apps that I recommend. Instead of using Photoshop, go on and look at the GIMP, the GNU Image Manipulation Program. Free software, does pretty much everything Adobe Photoshop does, and it has no crazy fucking any anything in its terms of service like this.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of After Effects, there's plenty of free options out there.
I use Clipchamp.
Clipchamp is a good example. Okay, instead of fucking Adobe Acrobat, use Foxit Reader. Okay, free
What
software. Foxit. Okay, I just gave you 3 pieces of software. Oh, and instead of Adobe Illustrator, use fucking Google SketchUp. Yeah, it's not all bundled in one little nice little suite of software, but to protect your fucking privacy and everything, I'd much rather have to go to the different sites to find these programs than have it all bundled in one fucking suite and have my entire computer put at risk by someone from Adobe thinking that my kid's playing in the bathtub is sexual activity. You know? I'm sorry.
I wonder if that guy can never get his account back.
No. He can never get his account back. Ever. In fact, if he ever tries to create a new Google account, it instantly gets banned.
All right.
This is the kind of overreach I have a problem with.
All right. So anyway, there is an update to this story that actually came out today. This is courtesy of The Verge, and I do trust this one. They're really good about this. Anyway,
The Verge is a good source.
Yes. Adobe overhauls terms of service to say it won't train AI on customers' work. Yeah. The company will roll out new terms next week that will clarify what it can and can't do with users' data. So, this is what's going on here. Adobe is overhauling the terms customers must agree to when using its apps in an effort to win back trust and clarify that it won't train AI on their work. The change, announced via a new blog post, comes after a week of backlash from users who feared that an update to Adobe's terms of service would allow their work to be used for AI training. The new terms of service are expected to roll out next week on June 18th and aim to better clarify what Adobe is permitted to do with its customers' work, according to Adobe's president of digital media, David Wadhwani. Yes, that's his name. We have never trained generative AI on our customers' content. We have never taken ownership of a customer's work, and we have never allowed access to customer content beyond what's legally required, Wadhwani said to The Verge. Adobe faced Adobe faced widespread scrutiny from creatives over the last week after its customers were alerted to language in its term of service update that discussed AI. Customers interpreted Adobe's vague language to mean the company was allowing itself to freely access and use customers' work to train Adobe's generative AI models. That wasn't the case, and Adobe's policies around training weren't changing, but Adobe's chief product officer, Scott Belsky, acknowledged that the wording was unclear and that trust and transparency could be more crucial these days. Wadhwani says that the language used within Adobe's TOS was never intended to permit AI training on customers' work. In retrospect, we should have modernized and clarified the terms of service sooner, he said. And we should have more proactively narrowed the terms to match what we actually do, and better explain what our legal requirements are. A chunk of the creative community has a long-standing beef with Adobe over its alleged industry monopoly, its subscription-based pricing models, and its use of generative AI. The company trained its own Firefly AI model on Adobe stock images, openly licensed content, and public domain content to avoid some of the ethical concerns surrounding generative AI. Sorry about that, folks. But several artists have found images that reference their work on Adobe's stock platform, making it hard to trust the protections in place. We feel very, very good about the process, Wadhwani said in regards to the content moderation surrounding Adobe stock and Firefly training data, but acknowledged it's never going to be perfect. Wadhwani says that Adobe can remove content that violates its policies from Firefly's training data, and that customers can opt out of automated systems designed to improve the company's service. Adobe said in its blog that it recognizes trust must be earned. Excuse me. Let me take some water real quick. Hold on. My mouth's drying up.
All I know is technology is taking off.
Yep.
Like crazy.
I know. Anyway, trust must be earned and is taking on feedback to discuss the new changes. Greater transparency is a welcome change, but it's likely going to take some time to convince scorned creatives that it doesn't hold any ill intent. We're determined to be a trusted partner for creators in the era ahead. We will work tirelessly to make it so. And that is the end of the article.
I don't trust that. I do not trust that, and I've already explained many reasons why. Okay, so I'm not going to go into it again. But another example of a free piece of software that you can use that replaces After Effects perfectly, and surely you might want to look into this for fun to look into and learn.
Okay.
DaVinci Resolve.
Okay. Oh, by the way, before we go on, Mako is in the chat.
Good.
Bye,
Hey,
Mako.
Mako.
So, what do you guys think of what I said?
It makes a lot of sense. My friend, I have a friend that does not trust. She just has the bare bone basics on her computer, and she does not trust the up and coming technology.
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't like Facebook. She doesn't do X. She doesn't do any of the apps. She just does the bare bone basics.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
And
I
I
don't
respect
blame her.
that. And I respect that. But like I said, I mean, if the way that the TOS reads, you could literally say that Adobe owns everything you do on their stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sorry, I don't think I'm the only one who thinks that that is not just an overreach as far as technologically is considered.
Mm-hmm.
That's a fucking privacy issue, like a major privacy issue. And the other aspect that I haven't even brought up. So if they have all this access to your computer,
Mm-hmm.
I'm listening.
what happens if that access path falls into the wrong hands?
Oh yeah.
We're up shit creek.
We're screwed.
We're up fucking shit creek.
I mean, here's the problem. If that access path were to fall into, I don't know, Russian agents' hands,
Mm-hmm.
that gives them an inroad to our security networks in the US. They can use our computers, our personal computers, to possibly get behind firewalls that are protecting stuff like, I don't know, nuclear
Missile codes?
silos,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just said missile codes.
nuclear power plants, maybe the Department of Homeland Security, stuff that really you don't want someone like Vladimir Putin being able to see, or Xi Jinping, or fucking what's his face? Kim Jong-un.
Mm-hmm.
The little dictator.
You see, that's not only is it a privacy concern,
Mm-hmm.
but any system that has the ability to access multiple computers simultaneously, like this kind of system,
Mm-hmm.
provides a security weakness that can be used to exploit very high-end governmental access. That's why I always encourage, if you have to use software like it, use open source alternatives, because since it's open source, you can just pull out the source code, audit the source code yourself, run it through a freaking software checker, and see whether it's safe or not.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm not trying to be an asshole here.
No, you're not.
But you've got to kind of consider all possibilities.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but you know what? I think that despite all of the security precautions that we as individuals can take, all it takes is one determined hacker, someone in the dark web, to get in under our skin.
All it takes is
Yeah,
one person. One
Yeah.
person.
Exactly.
that's what I said.
No, I'm agreeing with you 100%. Okay?
Yeah, but whew.
All of the I'm downloading GIMP right now. I didn't catch the other programs you mentioned.
DaVinci Resolve, Foxit Reader.
Okay, I'll get it later.
That's fun.
But I mean, I can get you open source versions of any program. Microsoft Office, LibreOffice.
Hmm.
It's not that hard,
Right.
you know? So,
Mhm.
you know, being bound and determined by big companies, it's not really my thing. The only reason I use Windows, and I'm going to be very fucking frank here, is
Mhm.
because I'm a gamer and I don't want to deal with Proton on Linux.
Mhm.
Shirley, you got something else?
Yeah, like another story?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, this one might make you upset. Okay. A woman got to be Miss Alabama for a national pageant. Now, here's the thing. She's heavy set. Okay? I'm gonna say that right now. You know, she got the title, but guess what? She started becoming a cyberbullying victim.
Oh, in other words, they said, you're too rotund, too fat.
Yep.
You don't deserve it. Somebody else does. Blah blah blah. Shit like that.
Yeah. Somebody else who's pretty does. Like that.
Sounds like some of those stories we listen to in the morning.
Yeah, exactly. Alright, so, this is what it is. Cyberbullying of Alabama pageant queen spurs support and explanation of comment moderation. Now this is the editor's note. Last week, News 5 posted an article about the National American Miss Pageant's newly crowned Miss Alabama. A Facebook post with that article's link went viral, and thousands of commenters shared their thoughts on the pageant winner's appearance. Those comments prompted this article on journalism ethics and content moderation standards. Sounds like me when I was in college the first time. So, automobile. An Atmore woman's years-long wish to become a pageant winner finally came true over Memorial Day weekend. But the social media criticism that followed her crowning was swift and harsh. So here's what happened. Sarah Milligan's quest to be named Miss Alabama in the National American Miss Pageant began 8 years ago. That's when event organizers mailed letters seeking interested participants. Milligan answered that appeal, known as an open call. She competed twice for the honor but did not place. Milligan's third outing this year proved to be the charm. Excitement built for the 23-year-old as she made the top 10, was selected as a top 5 finalist, and ultimately won the state-level competition. Persistence paid off for the self-described plus-size participant. That's what she said. Okay? I'm going to make that clear. No matter what your body looks like, no matter where you come from, you can do anything you set your mind to, Milligan said. The National American Miss Pageant aims to foster a positive self-image by enhancing the natural beauty within, its website states. Participants share their hopes and dreams in a one-on-one interview, meet with a selection panel, introduce themselves on stage to an audience, prepare a resume, and volunteer in their own community, according to the site. Now, News 5 digital reporter Summer Poole invited Milligan to WKRD's studio last Friday to learn more about her. Afterward, Poole posted a behind-the-scenes photo of the visit on her Facebook page, and WKRG's Facebook page shared it along with the post that linked to her story on Milligan. The station received over 2,000 comments on a post that's seen by over 1 million people, according to Facebook Insights. Newsroom staff members noticed many notes of congratulations, often referencing Milligan's appearance. To know her is to love her, Tracy Stevens Brooks wrote. This young lady has a heart of gold and will give anyone in need a helping hand. A beautiful, obese diva with style, sass, and a lot of class. So proud of her, Samantha Thrash Duff wrote. We watched her all weekend and prayed hard that she would come home with that title. She's an amazing, sweet young woman and is going to do great things. Great to finally not see some 100-pound, blonde-haired, blue eyes who wants world peace win, David Jr. wrote. Congrats to Alabama and this queen. But overall, reactions were mixed. Many people criticized the National American Miss Pageant's decision to crown Milliken as Miss Alabama. Calling her beautiful is fine and good, that's all in the eye of the beholder, Scott Eccles wrote. But let's be honest with ourselves. She's extremely unhealthy, and this is a slap in the face of the young girls who have worked hard and maintained a diet to actually be a beauty queen. This is an embarrassment to the state of Alabama. WKRG received hundreds of comments that weren't so measured, insulting Milliken and calling her disrespectful names. This should have been Miss Jack-in-the-Box winner, John Mason wrote. I thought it was a beauty pageant, Blaine Tom Muratz wrote. Is that actually considered attractive in Alabama, Randy Hicks wrote. Harsh comments weren't just directed toward Milliken. Poole's Facebook direct messages inbox and her page's public comments section also filled with mean-spirited remarks. Now here's just a few of those. You're pathetic for turning the comments off and deleting them. You're a joke. Now her response was, there's a difference between having an opinion and being hateful. I welcome any comments that are not offensive. The comments my post was receiving were extremely offensive. If you're not ready for the backlash, don't post it. Whether you agree with it or not, take it and move on, but turning the comments off is a big L. Let's see. And then someone else said, yo, 6 attack ritual, you really inverted beauty. You're gonna be like one of the devil's top guys. Take that cross off, Marxist. Alright, so critics accused Poole of being a Satanist for supposedly inverting beauty standards. They said she opened Alabama to mockery for merely reporting the pageant's result, and they mocked Poole's appearance. Following the personal attacks on her, Poole limited comments on her post. The WKRG made the same decision for its Facebook post on Milliken. Other posters responded negatively. You deleted and censored comments, incredibly immature to go about deleting stuff, Matthew Barner wrote. This is America and there is free
Her
speech.
account. It's her damned account.
Yeah.
Not them.
Yeah, this is America and there is free speech. It's 2024. You can't post a Mack truck and expect us not to comment, lol. A TV reporter hiding the truth and showing what suits her, Zafar Khan wrote. What's new? Womp womp. If you're stopping people from expressing themselves, then you believe in censorship, and you shouldn't have the job you have, Hunter Parker wrote. In reality, Poole and WKRG TV took ethical actions to minimize harm, an accepted, recognized practice called comment moderation. News organizations' core mission is to seek truth and report it accurately and fairly according to the Society of Professional Journalists Code of Ethics. I should know, I took journalism classes in ethics. So, one key to that mission is to boldly tell the story of the diversity and magnitude of the human experience, the code states. Seek sources whose voices we seldom hear. Further, ethical journalism treats sources, subjects, colleagues, and members of the public as human beings deserving of respect. While another goal is to support the open and civil exchange of views, even views they find repugnant, SPJ distinguishes between reporting on diverse issues and allowing uncivil comments and discord in the comments section. WKRG TV rarely limits discussion in the comments section of social media posts. The station exercised that option after comments about this story strayed from spirited discussion and became personal attacks. That makes perfect sense. Pardon me just a second here. Ugh.
I noticed something.
Mm-hmm.
The majority of the comments that you read off were from males.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't see you read any from the females.
No. All right, so. All right. We report daily on a wide variety of subjects and ideas, said WKRG TV News Director Gene Kirkconnell. I love that last name. We invite into that process people with a variety of viewpoints. We listen and interact respectfully with them. So as folks participate in that dialogue, we simply ask that they do the same. Milliken said the harsh comments initially bothered her, but she was able to move past them. I'll be honest. It got to me for about 5 minutes, she said. Then something incredible happened. People from Massachusetts, Maine, Canada, and California, truly all across the country, found and followed her Facebook and Instagram profiles, according to Milliken. The potential setback suddenly became the biggest blessing, as she gained 1,500 and 1,000 followers on Facebook and Instagram, respectively, overnight.
Like I said it, but I just said it, and I'll say it again. Good for her.
Yep. Now people are coming forward with offers to sponsor Milliken for NAM's national pageant to be held Thanksgiving week in Orlando, Florida. Those offers include a dress, earrings, and products worth thousands of dollars to boost her presentation, she said. Milliken may take the harsh reaction to her state victory in stride, but she said that's not the case for other victims of cyberbullying, and she wants those who attacked her appearance to understand something. Their words can hurt, Milliken said, even if it is online. Even something that you type over a screen can have lasting impression on people. That lasting impression specifically can include self-harm. The incidences of both cyberbullying and adolescent suicide are rising in the United States. The American Academy of Psychiatry and the Law stated in a February 2023 publication. In fact, 14.9% of adolescents have been cyberbullied, and 13.6% of adolescents have made a serious suicide attempt, based on data from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, the publication notes. Even though I'm not at that point, it can lead to people to do some very dark things to themselves, Milliken said. Educating people about the impact of their words is one way to turn a negative into a positive, she said. I've always wanted to spread positivity, and this kind of put me in a position to do exactly that, Milliken said. And that's the end of the article.
Okay, you're right that there's anger in me, but I've got just one thing to say, very simply.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm going to establish right now that the forums in which people were expressing were privately owned and funded forums in which the people who control them, aka Facebook, the news station, at all, Meta, whatever, you know what I'm saying,
Yeah.
have the right to censor as they see fit.
Right.
So, I'm going to read one simple thing. One simple thing. Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech or of the press, or the right of the people to peaceably assemble and to petition the government for redress of grievances.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't know what that is, that's the First Amendment to the Constitution.
Mm-hmm.
And the key phrase in this is Congress shall. That does not mean that your freedom of speech can be exercised everywhere in the country.
Mm-hmm.
If you have something to say that is negative and a company decides because it's negative and you are on their private stuff that they want to fucking censor you, guess what?
They can.
That fucking company can. Just like if I wanted to censor something because I own Beyond the Airwaves, I fucking could.
Yeah. Like,
But I
example,
don't.
I say something really stupid. I don't know what, but this
But
is
my-
hypothetical.
But my point being, people always take the First Amendment to
And twist
say that nobody can stop their freedom of speech.
Right.
That
Alexa,
is
open YouTube.
that
Mm-hmm.
is 150,000% incorrect.
Mm-hmm.
Private companies have the right and retain the right to censor as they see fit.
Right. Because see that this is like you said, that's the dumbest thing people tend to forget. It's like, I got the First Amendment right. I always say this: freedom of speech doesn't mean you're free from the consequences.
Right.
Go bongo.
Right. You're not free from the consequences, but the point that I'm trying to make is the First Amendment only applies to the United States government and the state governments. It has no fucking point in any kind of control over any private enterprise.
Mm-hmm.
That's all that it is.
Yeah.
That's literally all that I have to say about it, because guess what?
What?
That covers absolutely everything in that article.
Yeah, because I know when I see like the plane spotters doing the live streams and such, you see some comments in there. If they they don't like it, they can delete that comment off. It's their right because it's their channel, not mine, not yours, not anyone here. It's their channel.
Exactly.
Because I know there was one time when I had COVID, I posted, "Hey, I came down with COVID, but these plane spotting things have been helping me stay sane." Somebody kept saying, "There's no such thing as COVID. There's no such thing as COVID." Of course, this comment's not deleted by the mods, so.
Was that Sin Squad or one of the other ones?
I think it was one of the other ones.
But yeah, I just wanted to make I just wanted to make that one small tiny point that just shatters everything on that article.
Mm-hmm.
And it literally does that. It's one fucking statement.
Yeah, exactly. But I feel like beauty pageants are great and all, but it's good to see that there's someone like her saying, "Hey, I mean, she's heavy set. There's got to be a reason behind it, but I'm not going to question her because I think she worked hard for this." So.
And the other aspect of this that I can say is, people really have a fucked up sense of beauty.
Yep.
Because the fact of the matter is, someone can be heavy set and still be healthy.
Mm-hmm.
Heavy does not always equate to obese. It all depends on the person.
Mm-hmm. Exactly, because every person is built differently.
There are some people who have metabolic problems that make it hard for them to lose weight.
Right, exactly.
I'm not one of them. Mm-hmm. I do a lot of stress eating, but that's neither here nor there. I know of people, they eat and eat and eat and eat, and they try to, and they either gain weight or they stay thin as a rail.
Yeah.
And people judge them. You need to eat more, blah, blah, blah. You look like a toothpick, blah, blah, blah.
Or you need to eat less. You look too big. You're not healthy.
You look like a whale, blah, blah, blah. And I will admit, I am overweight. And I've been under a great deal of stress. I'm going to go pop popcorn when this is over, but I didn't have any dinner. But it's like, I don't know what to say. Yeah.
Jan, I'm going to say it for you. I'm going to say it very simply. People, if it doesn't fucking affect you, don't fucking comment on it.
Careful, Frodo, please.
Why do I keep my headphone volume at only 28?
But
I don't know what volume I'm on right now.
I don't have headphones on.
But does that make?
I was up at 95.
Does that make perfect sense? If it
yeah.
doesn't fucking affect you, don't fucking say a word.
Yeah.
Hey,
Agreed.
I hate to interrupt this discussion, but do I have time to read that article about the plane?
Yeah, go ahead.
Go for it, Jan. Sorry, but I just had to say that as
Okay.
simply as can be.
Shirley, I posted it to the BTA chat. Could you
Okay.
put it in the chat so I could
Okay, let me go find it.
now you know hail hurts like shit when you get hit by it.
Mm-hmm.
Eyes?
Oh, I see Frodo's mouth moving, but can't hear him.
You talking
Let me know when it's in the chat.
It's on the. I got it on the screen.
On the screen?
Yeah.
Oh, what screen? Come on.
The YouTube screen.
Okay. I'm not on YouTube, so.
Okay.
But let me see if I could go find it again.
I already found it. I'll read it.
Okay.
I'll save you the
No.
trouble. I'll read it. It's okay.
Wait a minute. I got it. I got the link. I got the link.
Okay.
Never mind. I got it. Okay. Now this happened, 15 hours ago. And an Austrian Airlines flight made a mayday call as the front of the aircraft was battered by hail in a flight over Europe on Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
The Airbus A320 was flying from Mallorca to Austria when it hit a thunderstorm cell, the airline told ABC News, with the hail causing substantial damage to the aircraft's nose and cockpit windows. And with the article, there is a picture of the nose of the plane.
Mm-hmm.
With the hail caused to the aircraft's nose and cockpit windows. Emily Oakley, a passenger on the flight, told the network that several people screamed during the incident, which began with turbulence about 20 minutes before landing. They were lucky they were close to the airport.
Mm-hmm.
We could definitely feel the hail coming down on the plane, and it was quite loud and super rocky for a minute. Oakley said the airline said that the severe patch of weather was not visible on the radar to cockpit crew and that the Mayday call was issued because of the damage. It added that the plane was able to make a safe landing at Vienna Schwekat Airport with no passengers hurt. It wasn't until we exited that we saw the nose was missing. They have a cowl that goes over the nose of the aircraft because they have sensitive equipment on the nose of the plane.
I'll be right back.
And that was completely destroyed.
Ooh.
And the windows of the plane, thank God they were 3 layers thick.
Yeah. Oh,
they were freaking. The article's over.
Okay.
Did you?
I didn't know Frodo left.
I didn't know Frodo left.
Yeah, he's. Oh well, that's all right. All right, I think.
But thank God that the cockpit windows were 3-4 layers of plexi.
Yeah, that's a relief. Whew.
Yeah, but if you look at the nose in the picture, it's like, holy shit.
Yeah. All right, got time for one more story, and unfortunately, this is also a sad story. A 6-year-old girl has been killed in a freak badminton accident while on vacation with family. Badminton. You know, the game, the sport.
Yeah.
Badminton.
I don't see how that could be harmed.
Well,
that could be harmful, but go ahead.
Yeah, but this one did. So, all right. So here's what happened. Okay, a freak badminton accident killed a 6-year-old girl while she was on vacation with me and her family, according to authorities. Police said the accident happened around noon on June 1st at a home. Authorities said the girl, identified as Lucy Morgan, was sitting on the sideline when a racket broke on a downward swing by one of her siblings, and a sharp piece from the racket lodged into her skull.
Shit.
Yeah, Lucy was rushed to the hospital where part of her skull was removed to relieve the pressure in her brain. Following the surgery, her family said her brain functioning stopped. After significant thorough testing and even more repeated tests to be certain, brain death was declared at 1:32 a.m. on June 5th, and her heart stopped beating around 4 a.m. Lucy was with Jesus, her father, Jesse Morgan, wrote. In a blog post, he also shared that his wife had given Lucy a prayer journal last month. After her death, they found it in her backpack. The first entry read, God is so amazing, and he is the true God, and he created everything, and he died on the cross for our sins. Lucy's father commented, it's almost as if God was writing with her, drawing her to himself. How a 6-year-old journal like this is beyond me. A GoFundMe page launch has raised more than $100,000. But that's just
Between her burial and the hospital bills.
Yeah, that's just awful, though. But like I said,
Well, it was a freak accident. I bet
Right.
you the sibling felt bad about it.
oh yeah, mm-hmm.
The Trying to give the Reader's Digest condensed version to Mike since he wasn't in here.
It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Okay, yeah, you can look at it in the
All
replay.
right.
It's cool. But
Hi, Ashley.
she's still asleep.
You're still kind of on camera.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah.
She says hi.
Okay. All right. So anyway, got about 5 minutes left. So here's the game plan. Since we did not officially do Cards Against Humanity back on Friday, we're going to make up for it. We're going to do it again, and we'll just move everything back 1 week. Will that work?
That works for me.
Okay.
Works for me, Jay. I already told you it works for me.
All right. So we're going to go for Cards Against Humanity this Friday. We'll do Among Us the next 2 weeks, and then get the trivia the following 2 weeks. And by the way, I brought 3 of my trivia books home. I've got about 3,000 questions already. Of course.
Are they mixtures of easy, medium, hard, or
yes,
all hard, or
they're all
medium?
mixed. They're a mix. And then of course I've got 2 books with 5,086 questions each. So we're talking over 10,000.
So that's 10,000.
10,172.
It's true.
Yeah.
Damn.
Oh yeah, I've got. And by the way, not trying to what should I say? Make this like a sponsor or something. Thrift Books. My God, that's an awesome website. You can find.
Hey,
I can find some of these books like $5.
I found in a used bookstore when I lived in Mesa a couple of books that were novelizations of a couple of TV episodes of UFO.
Oh, nice.
And the thing about it is they were very fragile and very old, so they fell apart on me.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, from continuous reading, too.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. But anyway, that's basically our game plan for this week. We're going to do Cards Against Humanity one more time, and then we'll do Among Us next 2 weeks, then Trivia next 2 weeks. So, that's basically what we got in mind. So, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to play the 15-second ending. So, bear with me. Growl. Alright, so with that in mind, I'm going to say love, peace, and chicken grease. Everyone have a great night, sleep well, stay safe, and we'll see you Friday for Uncensored Cards Against Humanity. Good night, everyone.